Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and on with the program.
All right, today is headlines: cocaine sharks, portal to the fifth dimension, year of the hurricane, unstoppable mushrooms, and zombie cells. All this and more here on Inside and Out. Do you guys hear a buzz? I hear a buzz. I don't know what that buzz is, but we're going to continue on with the Inside and Out desktop program. My name is Jason, and I'm here to talk to you about some things that I absolutely know nothing about, and I'm going to learn them along with you. We're going to read these headlines, and our first headline is cocaine sharks. And cocaine sharks, what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about sharks in the Bahamas test positive for substances including caffeine, cocaine, researchers find. Okay, sharks off the coast of the Bahamas have tested positive for substances including caffeine, painkillers, and even cocaine, according to the findings of a new study on the effects of contaminants of emerging concern. CEC. I like that, and I don't know, that sounds cool. CEC, contaminants of emerging concern. It sounds pretty cool, and it's pretty serious though. I'm getting a bit of a hum today. I don't know what's going on there with that. It's always a gremlin. All right. So researchers have found in this study, in one particular area, that 28 out of 85 of these sharks tested positive for certain types of anti-inflammatory drugs and also caffeine, and a few of them tested positive for cocaine. So that's pretty crazy, pretty exciting to think about the new story that's going to be coming out. Cocaine sharks of the Caribbean. I mean, think about it. We all know what happened, man. You blow up a bunch of drug boats, the stuff goes somewhere. It goes into the belly of who? The most bloodthirsty fish in the ocean. That's who it goes to. And they eat us alive. 2026, the year of the cocaine shark. Watch. Mark my words. That's exactly what's going to happen. All right, our next headline: portal to the fifth dimension, the 5D. The 5D. They have found a way to the 5D. Let's see what they're talking about here. Okay. Well, it's waiting. Here we go. Scientists are pretty sure they found a portal to the fifth dimension. This is courtesy of Popular Mechanics. All of my stuff, if you look on the what do you call it, the description below, you can find links to everything I talk about on every show. I always put the links down there. Okay. Apparently, dark matter is the is like the missing ingredient. They believe that uh, dark matter is the key. I haven't read this, like I said. Um, let's see. Let's try. Let's see how open my eyes are today. Here's what you'll learn to read in this story. Dark matter could be the result of fermions pushed into a warped fifth dimension. The theory builds on an idea first stated in 1999, but is unique in its findings. Dark matter makes up 75% of the matter that has not been yet observed. And that particular thing, I don't know much, but I know that they have argued over the years about what exactly dark matter is, not just in like science areas, but in mathematical areas, in all kinds of areas. I believe it's arguing back and forth on whether it's a particle or not. So, and until they find exactly what it is, but apparently it has a big deal to do with everything. We are clueless to at least 75% of what we even think we know about, apparently. Well, I think the dark matter, which no one wants to admit, is up here in our heads. We don't know. Do we? Do we know? But I would highly, highly suggest to find out what I don't know and read the rest of this article. I'm going to read the rest as we move along. The WED model. Okay, so on Wednesdays. No, but check this out. Our next headline, because I'm rolling through it, is the year of the hurricane. Now, this one concerns me because I live in hurricane territory here in the beautiful state of Virginia. And the reason why this concerns me is because here in our lovely state, we're usually, unfortunately, but fortunate to us, we're usually protected by other states taking the blunt of the hurricane. But according to the New York Post, I'm waiting for this to head up. I'll, I'm one of those weird people that like to look at the details in the details, and I don't really think things are accidental. Even, and I call that, crazy. That's what's wrong with me. But all right, and here's why. Okay, millions of Americans urged to prepare for disaster as 2026 hurricane predictions revealed. Make sure your emergency supplies are stocked up. Okay, so they really believe that this is going to be a really really crazy year for hurricanes, predicting 11 to 16 storms that are going to hit on the East Coast. Most of them being around like a Category 3 or higher. That's their prediction. But what gets me is on this list right here. It says the areas at risk of direct impacts of from a tropical storm or hurricanes are in the northern and northeastern coast. Man, why am I stumbling? These flashing things. All right, including but not limited to, and this is what scares me. It says Virginia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and the Carolinas. First on the list, Virginia. What list is this? Is this alphabetical order? Is this random? Because I don't see things as random. I think they know something. And I'm really a little bit nervous here because is our lovely state about to take the blunt of most of these storms? Are you trying to challenge our readiness to face you, Mother Nature? We don't want to have to do that. We love to embrace you, but don't make us face you, man. It's a scary thing to think that we're gonna maybe get a lot of storms. And I live on the eastern shore of Virginia, and the scary thing about that most of the time is yes, wind damage and stuff, but flooding. We get a lot of flooding depending on which way the tide is going when the storm hits us can really really determine how bad it gets. We get like a double whammy, you know, and that could be a scary thing. Hopefully none of this stuff happens, but it looks like we're going to get a lot of storms in 2026 in the middle of the United States on the East Coast. All right, speaking of all this stuff, let's switch to the weather. Since there's no storms right now, what kind of storms do we have today? It looks like snow, everybody. It's not responding. We know how that rolls. We know how this show goes, man. I've got more. I mean, I'm. All right, let's see. Is it up yet? Not yet. All right, well, while that's coming up, let's switch to the next one. Unstoppable mushrooms. Unstoppable mushrooms. This is courtesy of of BBC. An unstoppable mushroom is tearing through the North American forest. Fungi enthusiasts are doing damage control. I'd suggest reading this article. I kind of breezed through it, and basically, and I'm 50-50 on what I'm reporting here, but I don't know if this is an escaped clone laboratory mushroom or not. But it's pretty wild looking. Two places why it's so bad, but obviously it is bad. That's why there's people that are smarter than me in those areas, and that's why we're all created unique and different, so that we can all look out as a whole to make sure the right things are being done. And if it came to me knowing about what the right thing to do about life and invasive species, I don't know, but apparently this is a big deal. So we need to focus on this in the northwest, I guess California, Oregon area. All right, weather here in my lovely town of Exmoor, Virginia. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing some rain today for a big portion of the day, starting in the afternoon. But right now, we're looking at 69 degrees for our temperatures, kind of wet and soggy. We're going to drop all the way down to 39 tonight. And then we're just going to roll over in the morning with some clear skies, but only hitting as high as 45. Hopefully, we can get the dew off the grass, but I don't know. It's going to drop back down to 30 that night, Saturday night. So it looks like we're going to have kind of a cold entry into the weekend until we get to Sunday with a high of 52. And then after that, we know what happens after that. We all get back to work. But you know what else will works? Zombie cells. That's what works. Did you know zombies cells, what they are? I have no idea what they are, but we're going to find out right now here on nature.com. Not zombie cells return from the dead after a genome transplant. I did brief through this just a little bit, and basically they take dead bacterial cells and they plant new life into them and kind of use them. And this is a new story, but apparently the first time we did this, I believe, was back in like 1999. More than 15 years ago, researchers chemically synthesized the 1.1 million base pair genome of the bacterium Microplasma mysioides and transplanted it into living cells of the closely related species Microplasma caprium colum. So they're using these cells for medicines and drugs. So just think about that for a second. Not only are you taking artificial things that are no longer nature. Nature had the answer for all of you. You know, the universe was created perfectly imperfect. But it's got everything you need. And first, us as humans, we switched to these synthetic drugs. But now your synthetic drugs are going to be made out of synthetic cells, zombie cells, to be a matter of fact. A legion of dead cells. I'm just spooking everybody and playing around, but that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on now, isn't it? Well, not to leave and head into the weekend on doom and gloom, let's switch from zombies and let's just think about a good time. I hope everybody has a good weekend this weekend, and I thank you guys so much for watching today's program, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and say goodbye to Sully back there who opened up the tent door. All right, talk with you soon. Oh, yeah, well, I'll talk with you guys soon.